Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Payne Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Let's turn to Don Lemon. Where's that mouth now? Oh, it's because I'm gay. It's because I'm black. No, it's because you're an idiot, Don Lemon. The Attorney General Pam Bondi having this to say.
Make no mistake, under President Trump's leadership and this administration, you have the right to worship freely and safely. And if I haven't been clear already, if you violate that sacred right, we are coming after you.
Well, the White House standing firmly behind its decision. On the White House social media account, it says, quote, when life gives you lemons, the text accompanied by a photo, a big photo of Don Lemon during his recent coverage of that protest inside a St. Paul, Minneapolis church, Minnesota church, I should say. Lemon says he was at the protest in the capacity of a journalist. I don't think so. And so the Justice Department says protesters violated the FACE Act, a law that protects people from attacks in places of worship. But we all know Mr. Lemon and the rest of those people, they had no idea what the FACE Act was, but you'll know now. 800-848-9222. This is how CNN reported the news. Of course, they're in an awkward position. He's no longer employed there, but this was CNN breaking the news of Don Lemon.
Breaking news now, just into our CNN newsroom. We are learning journalist, former colleague of ours, former CNN anchor, Don Lemon, has been taken into custody, arrested just days after a protest inside a Minneapolis church. Now, he has maintained that he was going in as a journalist to cover the protest. Let's get right to CNN's Kara Scannell, and CNN chief media analyst Brian Stelter is also here with us. Kara, what are you learning first about this arrest that we should note? A magistrate judge, had rejected the federal government's attempt to put him under arrest just 1 week or so ago.
Sarah, that's right. We had reported that earlier this week that the magistrate judge had rejected an attempt by DOJ to bring criminal charges against Don Lemon. What we have learned is that last night in Los Angeles, in the 11 o'clock hour, Don Lemon was arrested in the hotel lobby in Beverly Hills and taken into custody. Now, it is not clear at this time what he is charged with, or if he is charged in a criminal complaint, or if he is charged in an indictment which would have been returned by a grand jury. But it does appear to be connected to that because, as we reported earlier this week, the Attorney General Pam Bondi was livid that Lemon was not charged at the time. It appeared that they were going to continue to try to bring charges against him. And now we know that Lemon was arrested last night in Los Angeles, where he was in town to cover the Grammys. I do have a statement from his attorney, Abby Lowell, and it says in part, Don has been a journalist for 30 years, and his constitutionally protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he has always done. The First Amendment exists to protect journalists whose role it is to shine light on the truth and hold those in power accountable. There is no more important time for people like Don to be doing this work. Instead of investigating the federal agents who killed 2 peaceful Minnesota protesters, the Trump Justice Department is devoting its time, attention, and resources to this arrest, and that is the real indictment of wrongdoing in this case. Now, we do expect Lemon to make an appearance in court today. That is usually the process that follows when someone is arrested, and then it will be up to the judge whether he gives him bail, which would be expected in this case. So we're likely to learn more details about exactly what he is charged with, what form he is charged in, and if this was returned by a grand jury. And then we'll see potentially Lemon later today. But he's being held and has been held overnight in Los Angeles, unarrested on some charges that appear to be related to Minneapolis. Sarah?
And that's how CNN reported this. 800-848-9222. Let me tell you something, folks, that I've learned from being around the Southern District of New York. When the feds want to stick it to you, when you're particularly not a nice guy or you're mouthing off, they make the arrest. They make sure that they make the arrest after the last federal judge for arraignment is in the office. So in other words, they make sure that you're going to spend the night in jail. Notice what time they arrested Don Lemon. They could have arrested him in the morning time, in which he would go before a federal judge and be right out, assuming that a judge is going to release him. But they arrested him overnight to ensure the fact that Mr. Lemon got the opportunity to, he likes to do podcasts, right? He likes to do podcasts. So maybe he'll do a podcast about his experience in federal custody.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.